Chris Silveda, Simple Listing Solutions, and what I'd like to talk to you about in this video is the 3 key criteria that separate those agents currently living in Thrive, like right now in your community, that real estate agent or those real estate agents who, they're going to go shopping for a new car this weekend and it's going to be an expensive one and it's no big deal, and they're going to go out for dinner that night and, plenty of money in the bank and probably went to Europe this summer, and they're living in Thrive. Got stuff is handled. They're closing escrows every month, profitable business, and then the rest of everybody else. You can be one of them, and here's how I know. I traveled the country for 7 years with Joe Stumpf, and if you don't know who Joe is, he's the #1 dialogue skills coach on the planet for the real estate industry, and he owns a company called By Referral Only. Great organization, good stuff. I was out of college. I had a degree in advertising design, and I was working as a freelance copywriter years ago when I decided I needed to make enough money to actually feed myself. So I took a job for this guy. Didn't know anything about real estate. And over the next 7 years, I traveled the country with him as his personal assistant. Spent 3 weeks out of every month on the road with him in hotels, airports, taxi cabs, rental cars, hotel ballrooms, just together. In fact, at one point, fortunately for me, he said, "Hey, Chris, I don't want to talk about sports and weather and news all the time, and since we're together all the time, you need to start reading all these books." And every time he finished a book, he'd hand it to me, and he'd have all his highlighted notes in it, and I'd read it. And, I really grew to just, whoa. And he's my mentor. And let me tell you what I did at By Referral Only with Joe over 8 years, real briefly. I quadrupled my income, and I went from travel guy to actually flying around the country training his mastery members, top producing listing agents from Canada down to Florida and all over the U.S. On his systems. Systems created by guys like Eben Pagan and Dean Jackson. And if you haven't heard of them, you ought to, because Dean Jackson is a phenomenal real estate marketer out of Winter Haven, Florida. You can just Google new information, Dean Jackson. He's somebody you'd want to know if you're a real estate professional. Eben Pagan, they call him the $100 million man. He's the #1 internet marketer on the planet and consultant to Tony Robbins. He's got 2 online businesses that are phenomenal businesses. And so, these are the guys that I hung out with in literal real estate marketing think tank land for years. And here's what I learned traveling around the country, meeting these top producing listing agents, sitting with them, sleeping at their homes, going out for dinner with them for years. 3 key criteria that separate them from everybody else. And it's not IQ. Okay? It's these things. I'd write them down. #1, and I'm going to give you to these in weight. In other words, I'm going to give you the biggest one, and then the second biggest one, the third biggest one, okay? So the #1 key criteria, are you ready for this? It's their habits. It's what they spend their time doing, okay? These folks, these 7-figure income earners, when they walk out the door in the morning, their mindset is they're running for governor, and everybody knows them. And so everywhere they go, they have a warm and pleasing personality. And when they open their mouth and have something to say, people listen, and they have an ability to communicate, So it's their habits. They go out and they prospect. They're never not prospecting. They're always prospecting. They found ways to weave prospecting they incorporate it into everything they do. At the restaurant, they're prospecting with the waitress. At the bar, they're prospecting with the bartender. People next to them, they just do it. They're fabulous prospectors, always prospecting. So it's their habits. It's what they spend their time doing. Okay, that's #1. #2, it's their dialogue skills. And what I mean by that is this. It's when they open their mouth and speak, the words that come out build trust. The words that come out sound confident and sound credible. And people listening to them think, oh, she knows what she's talking about. She's sharp. And that's their dialogue skills. And Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich said it brilliantly. He said, you got to have a warm and pleasing personality and the ability to communicate with people in such a way that when you're done speaking, what they're left with is a result of, wow, I like this person. They sound like they're an expert in their field. They sound like they love what they do, and they're good at it. Wow. So, #1, your habits, prospecting. What do you spend your time doing every day? Okay. #2, your dialogue skills. Are you able to effectively communicate to people why you're their #1 choice? Okay, and do it in a way that you're not breathing sales commission breath all over them and being salesy. and really presenting yourself as a consultant and an advisor. Okay, that's number 2. And then number 3 is your tools. Okay, are they automated? Are they viral? Okay, are your tools, is your website getting you listings? Okay, so think about that. Those 3 things: your habits, what you spend your time doing, your dialogue skills, your ability to build trust with your words, and then your tools. And that's business cards, door hangers, postcards, bandit signs, websites, blogs, YouTube pages, Facebook pages, tweets that you're sending out into the world, all that stuff. And if you don't know how to do that stuff, hang around with me, and I'll show you how. And you can actually go over to simplelistingsolutions.com right now and look at some tools, albeit short sale listing getting tools, but to give you an idea. Same thing apply to expired listings. I've got some stuff coming out behind this for expired listings and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But go over there and check it out at simplelistingsolutions.com, and you'll get an idea of exactly what I'm talking about. So, again, habits, dialogue skills, tools. And your tools need to be automated. They need to be viral. Are they promotion-based about you, or are they permission-based? Do they provide value? Do they have free offers? Do they make it easy for people to connect with you? Do they have built-in drip systems that just, go into work for you? So those 3 things, okay? And make a note of those. And hang around. If you like this video, if you got some value from it, a fresh idea or a thought that maybe you didn't have before, like a little shift in your thinking, then maybe send a link of this to an agent that you know or your broker, and they might enjoy it too. And hopefully you've already subscribed to my page. Go do good work. Bye.